So you definitely say that the way society is right now, or
Yes.
the energy of society, the collective energy, it's trapped in that cycle of suffering, thinking in a way in which they suffer, being
Yes.
in a way in which they suffer. And because the collective mind has that running, it
That's
sort
true.
of keeps people trapped in that
Yes.
cycle
That's true.
without giving them a way out. And
Yes.
that is where you come in with awakening people to their Buddha potential. You
Yes.
break through that cycle
Yes.
to create something better for
Yes.
someone.
That's true. You know why? Because the reason they trap in the system, therefore they fight each other. You see, that's when the war appear, right? Fighting. A lot of happening right now in the society. Why? Because of ignorance, because greed and hatred, right? They don't know. They are trapped in the system. They don't know. They don't know who they truly are. They just fight for right, fight for good, fight for win, fight for something, right? Because that's all they know, right? And that's when you see it's collective energy. That's when you saw day by day the world become more darkness, right? Even with the technology develop, right? Everything grow. But why inside of each person? Very dark, because it's a lot of fear, a lot of stress, a lot of suffering. You see?
Yes.
That's why I'm here to awaken their Buddha potential. I'm here to wake them up, right? And from that moment, when they wake up, they say, oh, they've been trapped in a system. And they need to wake up and liberate, right? And from that moment, they can see things different. And then from there, it's truly the karma change. The negative energy will change, right? And the darkness will change. And then the world will change, shift into awakened world, the light, instead of the darkness, right? Like that.
Thank you so much for explaining that, because I feel as though that's why I'm really happy that you're on this podcast, because it's the premise of why it was started, to enable people to shine light on their dark parts so that they can alchemize it and transmute it into light and then exist as light. And I feel as though the more they listen to episodes like this, and this episode with you, I'm already pretty sure that it's going to be so wonderful. It's reinforcing the message of this podcast that the dark inside of us doesn't have to remain dark. We just have to do the work to bring it to light, to transmit it to light. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And how do you awaken people? And how do you awaken people? And what does true awakening feel like?
Yes. You know, because first, whoever near awakened one, they will feel awakened one energy. It means the true love, the present, the wisdom, right? And from there, it's easy for them to be open with me. You see, usually people always feel unsafe and feel, they would try to protect themselves. They try to hidden, right? They try to cover, right? But whenever they are the awakened one, it's because they feel trust. They are open. Because in each person have Buddha potential. Therefore, when they are near awakened one, it's right away I'm cultivate their Buddha potential, their awakened mind. And right there is the connection arise, right? And from that moment, they feel it. They feel it. And from that moment, they are open for awakened one to awaken their Buddha potential. And from there, I will show them what block their truly happy. You see, what they still stuck within themselves. And from there, I start to wake them up, and wake them up. And they start to see all the dream world start to disappear, right?
Yes.
And they start to wake up along the way. And they experience for themselves, right? The moment they on the way to wake up, they feel all the attached within themselves. It just start to fall apart. The fighting within themselves is start to fall apart. The anger, the judging, everything start to fall apart. And then from that moment, it's true love appear. And they start to see things different. And that moment, when they're on the way to wake up, they can see the nature of life. Not exactly the way they see before. You see, before they see that everything is like darkness. Everything is, but now when awaken their Buddha potential. And why they say, oh, what is a dream world? What is get lost in the dream world? Why we suffer? Why people around us suffer? Why we are not truly happy? They know further on. And along the way, they will walk the path to truly wake up and liberate the cycle of birth and death.
Wow, beautiful. I understand where you're coming from. I see what you're saying, especially when it comes to energy. I must say, like, even with our episode, when I was having difficulties earlier on, I felt when, I got that energy of take your time, don't worry, just log back in. There's something inside of me that just made me feel calm and, happy and seen and made space for. So I love when, what's the right word? You can see glimpses of what people practice in little things, just even the most unexpected things. I came ready to see you through questions that I asked, but outside of all of that, with that slight difficulty in the beginning, I was able to see that it seeps into every little thing. Like there's that space to be. So I understand what you mean by your energy. Your energy is real. I wish I had better English to describe it, but I feel that. So yes, thank you for sharing that.
For example, when Awakened One talk to you, sometimes you don't need to think, right? You don't need to try to think to understand, right? I just interact with you. How do you feel? How do you feel when I interact with you? And you feel, what did you see when I interact?
Heart opening. My heart opening. Yeah. It's like a flower blooming. I feel safe. I feel comfortable.
And what else?
I feel like I'm like stepping into my
something awakened inside
energy.
yourself.
Yes.
Something awakened inside yourself, right? You can see something different than before, right?
Yes.
Little bit. Okay, something. What is mean? Oh, wake up. What is mean? Lost in the dream world, right? I start to open your wisdom mind while I interact with you, right?
Wow.
When I interact with you, I start to open your wisdom mind. You don't need to learn from book, or I don't need to teach you by, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. By just opening with you, interact with you, I already open your wisdom mind. Yeah. And then I already open for you to see the truth within yourself and the truth within the world, right? And from there, you start to see how humans suffering, right? And we have a way to get out, right? We are not stuck in that cycle, right? How do you feel? We feel that we have a way to get out of that system, right?
Yes, right? Yes. Even as you speak, I'm breaking down things like in my life that I'm like, okay, I can look at it this way. I can approach it this way. So I definitely understand what you're saying. Plus, there's this energy that I feel where it's like white light. That's what I wanted to say. Like just coming out of me in this way, just because we're interacting. That's the main thing I feel and see by visualizing. So thank you. Yeah.
Excellent.
Does awakening require solitude? Or can we wake up while fully immersed in daily life, jobs, families?
Wonderful question. Awakened mind already within yourself. The attached mind still within yourself, right? Therefore, we don't have to require to be in solitude, right? But at first, we need little bit time to come to meet Awakened One. In order for Awakened One to awaken your Buddha potential and give you some application, right? And then after that, when you start to recognize what is the awakened mind, right? What is the not in the dream world? What is this? At least you start to know, right? And then you start to walk the path in the meditation session or retreat, right? But after that, you can carry that in your daily life. While you interact with your husband, wife, parents, children, co-worker, I will show you how to go back to your awakened mind and liberate the attached mind, right? In the daily life. And then from there is the true love appear in your daily life. True wisdom appear in your daily life, right? You don't need to wait until you come to meditation practice. You have that. You can carry that in your daily life.
I think it's one thing that stands out to me that you said numerous times is the fact that people start to feel true love and true compassion. And
Yes.
that changes the way they see themselves and relate to society. And I feel as though that by you saying that, it's kind of like as one person awakens through the way they change their attitude by embodying true love and compassion and the way they treat their brothers and sisters, they sort of awaken other people. And you kind of like motivate them to come out of that cycle just from being awakened by you. That's what I'm getting.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Lovely.
You know,
Lovely.
because when in everyday life, we didn't have a chance to connect with awakened one energy. Therefore, people didn't connect more with what is mean serenity, right? What is mean true love? What is mean true wisdom, right? What is mean crave out? They didn't have a chance to connect with that. Therefore, they didn't know. Everyday life, they already connect with the darkness, the right, wrong, good, bad, high, low, judging, right? And therefore it's bring them to the negative energy, the darkness energy, right? But when you have a chance to meet awakened ones, and you will feel the five natures, and from there cultivate awakened mind within yourself, right? And from that moment, it's easy for you to looking for. You need to looking for awakened one, awakened mind. And you need to looking for how to get back to your real, your original. Your original is awakened mind, right? The original is the real you. Can see things clear as they are. And can see the nature of life. The nature of life is impermanent. The nature of life is not real, right? The nature of life always change. But because you're not awakened yet, therefore we believe the nature of life is a real. Therefore we attach to the nature of life and we cause a lot of suffering.
Thank you for that answer.